AJ, your host on this channel. In this video, we will have our discussion on the weekly transit from June 13th till June 19th for all the rising signs. So now friends, over here, as you know that compared to the monthly predictions, over here in the weekly transit results, I focus more on the movement of the moon in the zodiac belt. So during this week, moon is going to be making its journey starting from the Scorpio sign and reaching till the Aquarius sign and getting conjunct with the planet Saturn over there. And also friends, during this week, there is going to be the planetary shift which is going to be taking place. First, Rahu is going to be changing its nakshatra within the boundaries of the Aries. It is going to be shifting to the Bharani nakshatra. Venus is going to be changing signs on June 18th. It is going to be entering its own sign of Taurus. And Sun is also going to be changing signs and it is going to be entering the Gemini sign. So combining all these major shifts and blending it with the movement of moon in the zodiac belt, in this video, we will try to understand the weekly results for all the rising signs. So friends, starting with the Aries rising people, in your case, moon is going to be making its journey starting from your 8th house and ending the week in your 11th house. So now friends, when we talk about gaining from any sort of travels, regarding that front, this week's energy seems to be very promising for you. Definitely friends, your confidence is right now and during this week as well is going to be all-time high. You will be able to make decision with a proper use of your discriminatory intelligence. The only vulnerability over here is that friends, because of the shift which is taking place and the way it is going to be impacting you, things might not work out as per you have anticipated. So my advice to all the Aries rising people is that keep your goals, your dreams, your aspirations completely in check with the reality. Try not to act impulsive, aggressive or reckless, because things are gonna get delayed at the last moment. Like everything was going fine, you have been promised, and suddenly at the 11th hour you got the mail that this thing cannot be done. So these kind of last moment breakdown kind of situation might erupt during this week. So try not to lose out your temper, try to remain as calm, as meditative as it is possible for you. And overall friends, after this week, once moon will make its foray and the recent shift in the planetary transit like Venus, Sun, they all have settled down. So the following week things can be much in your control or in command. But this week energy seems to be coming out in a way that things might not work out at the same pace, with the same pace you would have been running during this week. Moving ahead friends, now for all the Taurus rising people. So now friends, in your case, moon is going to be starting its journey from your 7th house and ending the week in your 10th house. So which can be seen as a very good energy, specifically for all those people who are in their own business. Also friends, for the service professionals and all of that, there could be some development, some changes which might take place at your workplace. Now when I say changes, this does not seem to be indicative of some progressive change. Rather, it might put you a step behind or might put you in that retrospect mode. So try to remain very cautious in those circumstances and scenario. The week seems to be very promising for any sort of travel or for the students. Specifically, the energy of this week seems to be very promising. It's just like that friends, if you are in any sort of mid-management or top management and your leadership style is kind of very authoritative. So over there, I would recommend you not to try to suppress other people's views, other people's opinions. And also friends, just because during this week Venus is going to be coming out of your 12th house and it is going to be entering your 1st house, so there is definitely going to be a lot of temptation towards spending your money or putting your money in all sort of extravagant or wasteful expenses. So try to refrain yourself from all those money which could have been otherwise saved or utilized in some other productive ventures. And I would say friends that definitely, because Venus is your ascendant lord, it is going to be coming right over there in your 1st house. So the charm, the elegance in your personality is going to be all-time high and which is going to be well recognized in your circle of influence. Moving ahead friends, now for all the Gemini rising people. So now friends, in your case, Moon is going to be making its journey starting from your 6th house and ending the week in your 9th house. So definitely friends, this week is going to be supporting lot many travels as well. Now when we talk about the support of the people in authority or prominent people like your bosses and everything, so just because the sun is going to be coming to your first house, so your confidence is going to be high. You might also remain lucky in deriving the support of the prominent people as well, like your bosses, business partners and all of that. The only thing is that friends, just because this week is not seems to be very favorable for the students, you have to work very hard. And the second thing is that even for people like whether you are in job or you are in business, it's just like that the journey of Moon is taking place from the 6th house, it is covering the 8th house, and also in the 9th house it is going to get conjunct with Saturn. So things might get delayed at the last moment, or there could be all those energy that just because of your lack of planning or your haste, things might go haywire or jumbled up at the last moment. So my advice to all the Gemini rising people is that take proper time in doing proper planning of things. Do not leave things on the luck, on the destiny, because they otherwise you might get disappointed. And apart from that, a good week for the recognition and getting the support from the people in authority or from your bosses. Moving ahead friends, now for all the Cancer rising people. So now friends, in your case, Moon is going to be starting its journey from your 5th house and ending the week in your 8th house. So now friends, the week's energy seems to be very promising for expecting good returns on your investments. Like for the students, this week's energy is very promising. For some sort of travels, if you are planning, this week is very supporting for that as well. Now friends, the only vulnerability which is coming this week is, first is on the health front, and the second is there is a strong energy of some sort of arguments or difference of opinion at the work front. So over at the work front, now whether this could be with the bosses or this could be with the colleagues, you have to remain very cautious. Friends, I have been repeatedly saying this thing, that in the transit, the house of your luck is in a very prominent state, and not only that, it is also very well placed, well conjunct with your Karaka planet Mars as well. The only thing is that it's just the small trivial energy of the week which is making you a little bit vulnerable in the terms of your relationship with your colleagues at the work front. And friends, also like the week's energy seems to be very favorable for buying any property or buying of any vehicle. Specifically in the matters of the property, try to refrain from any engagement or any involvement in disputed property. Only that thing if you can give attention to. Apart from that, good energy for the return on the investment, for some recreational aspect and all of that, the week seems to be very much favorable. Moving ahead friends, now for all the Leo rising people. So now friends, in your case, Moon is going to be making its journey starting from your 4th house and ending the week in your 7th house. So now friends, this week is definitely going to be creating some positive energy where your confidence is definitely going to be very high. You're going to be very much driven towards your goal, accomplishment of your goals. But it's just like that friends, the energy of this week is getting formed in this way that the circumstances will start giving you a lot of hopes, but the return of that or the result of that might not come out as you might have planned or anticipated. So try to remain very practical, very realistic during this week. There's nothing wrong in helping other people, but you should not go overboard in order to help people that it's gonna burn a hole in your pocket or it's gonna cost your important productive time. Second thing is that friends, during the end of the week, because like Moon is going to be finishing the week in your 7th house, getting conjunct with Saturn. Saturn is already in a retrograde motion, so there could be some sort of difference of opinion with your partner as well during the end of the week. During that time, you have to remain a little bit cautious. So friends, in totality, in general, I'm seeing some good energy for like even if you want to invest in any real estate or property related thing, if that is getting qualified for you during this week, the energy seems to be very promising. It's just like that for people who are in their own nature of work, in their own business, they are freelance people. So your expectations have to be very realistic. And I would also say this thing, that just give heightened attention to your health. If any of the health concern has been troubling you for the past so long, so it is advisable to get a checkup done or visit a doctor during this week. Moving ahead, friends, now for all the Virgo rising people. So now friends, in your case, the energy of this week seems to be very favorable. Moon will start its journey from your third house and end the week in your sixth house. So now friends, for any sort of collaboration, meeting new people, or initiating some new project, starting a website, or lay foundation to some new plan. So for all that perspective, the week's energy seems to be very favorable. Like I would also say this thing, that all the hard work which you have been putting in place from the past couple of weeks, the result of that can also be experienced during this week. It's just like that, friends. Like, try to keep your expectation little bit realistic. Like I would say that do not leave things on luck, on destiny. Keep a grip on all the detailing and everything. And during the end of the week, there could be some slight vulnerability on the account of health, because at the end of the week, Moon is going to get conjunct with Saturn right over there in your sixth house. But apart from that, friends, overall the week's energy seems to be very favorable, specifically for people in sales, media, marketing, tour and travel business. So all those people can definitely get benefited. Good week to initiate some important long awaited project of yours. Moving ahead, friends, now for all the Libra rising people. So now friends, in your case, Moon will start its journey from your second house and will end the week in your fifth house. So now friends, the week's energy seems to be very good, specifically for the recognition aspect or anything to do with the religious pursuit. Like during this week, because week is also creating this energy of short journeys for you. So apart from all the recreational aspect, I would also say that visiting a place of religious significance can also prove to be very therapeutic for you guys. Second thing is that, friends, I've been seeing this thing repeatedly from the past so many videos, that your goals and your plans have to be very realistic, very practical, very much within your reach. If you're working on some grandiose vision of yours regarding which you are not very well prepared right now, so I would say that you might feel disappointed in that direction. The second thing is that, friends, even for the students, you have to be working very hard. Like for all those people who are in any sort of love, romantic relationship, things might seems to be little bit filled with misunderstanding or energy of obstacles just on a temporary basis during this week. But apart from that, friends, like I've already explained this thing, that for anything to do with the religious pursuit, this week's energy seems to be very favorable. Just keep all of your goals, your strategies, your plans completely in check. And lastly, regarding the health front as well, during the end of the week, it could give rise to some sort of vulnerability, specifically because the way the planets are influencing you, majority of the planets are influencing the part of your body on the below your waist. So over there, just on the lower body, I would say that if you're already going through any pain, any concern regarding those body parts, give heightened attention and just keep life little bit easy, relaxed, calm. And that is how the planetary vibration is going to be influencing all the Libra rising people during this week. Moving ahead, friends, now for all the Scorpio rising people. So now, friends, in your case, Moon is going to be making its journey starting from your first house and ending the week in your fourth house. So definitely, friends, this week seems to be very favorable for a new collaboration, meeting new people, and most importantly, business connected alliances and friendship and connection. The week seems to be very favorable for that. Friends, even from the student's perspective, like if you are a student, you're about to appear in any sort of important competitive exam, the week's energy seems to be very much in your favorable. Only, friends, during the end of the week, once like Moon is going to get conjunct with Saturn in your fourth house, so that is going to be a time which can give you a little bit of the emotional, mental instability or worries on the account of the mother's health and all of that, if that is getting qualified in your case. Like even when we talk about your relationship with your father as well, so there could be a little bit of the energies of the misunderstanding which you might have to go through, specifically if in your case you are dealing with any sort of paternal property related dispute. But apart from that, friends, the week's energy is very positive, very favorable for new collaboration, being introduced to new market, new ideas, visualization, for planning and strategy making and all of that. The week's energy seems to be very much favorable for all these Scorpio rising people. Moving ahead, friends, now for all the Sagittarius rising people. So now friends, in your case, moon is going to be making its weekly journey starting from your 12th house and ending the week in your 3rd house. So definitely friends, the week's energy seems to be very positive, very favorable for strategy making, for planning, for any sort of policy making and all of that. It's just like that friends, the gains might not be as good as you would have planned or anticipated. So this becomes more applicable for all those people who are in their own work, who are freelance people, creative people. So I would say that the gains have to be, or your expectations connected or attached with the gains have to be very realistic during this week. Trust me friends, the support of the luck is definitely going to be there over you, like over your line of work, over your profession, which is going to be helping you, guiding you in the right direction. It's just like that if you are very financially driven, so try to keep your expectation bit grounded or realistic. Also friends, for all those people who are about to appear in any sort of competitive exam, or who are still going through their studies and all of that, you have to work very hard, you have to remain very patient. Distractions are gonna be very high, or there could be some sort of obstacles which you might have to face or go through. So over there, my suggestion to you guys is that try to keep everything in check. And also, like, during this week, the energy seems to be very favorable for organizing or some auspicious, like the way we say in Hindi, some Mangal event, some auspicious event can also take place at your home as well, within your life, within your domestic life as well. So even from that front, the week's energy seems to be very much favorable for all these Sagittarius rising people. Moving ahead friends, now for all the Capricorn rising people. So now friends, in your case, moon is going to be making its journey starting from your 11th house and ending the week in your 2nd house. So now friends, the week's energy is not very favorable regarding the matters of buying or selling of any property or any vehicle. So over there, you have to remain very cautious. Also, if in your life, like you live in that family setting where your family members or your domestic life or a joint family and people have a lot of say, so over there could be those kind of circumstances that people might have attached a lot of expectations out of you. They might feel disappointed, they might spread so many rumors, false rumors around you. So there could be stress or tension pertaining to the family members. Now when we talk about for the business perspective, the week's energy seems to be very favorable. Like you might be introduced to new markets, start working on new idea, meeting new people. So regarding that front, the week's energy seems to be very favorable. There could also be some last moment 11th hour travel as well, which also proved to be very favorable. And also good times can also be indicated for all those people who are student or about to appear in any sort of competitive exam. I would say that friends, definitely luck is supporting you in all of your endeavors. It's just like that specifically matters pertaining to your domestic life needs to be give utmost attention and care during this week. Moving ahead friends, now for all the Aquarius rising people. So now friends, in your case, moon is going to be making its journey starting from your 10th house and ending the week in your 1st house. So definitely friends, good times are indicated for all the Aquarius rising people. Your discriminatory intelligence, your problem solving skills, your visualization is going to be all time high. So for the enhancement of reputation or for anything to do connected with the matters of your new strategy making, meeting new people, working on new ideas, new sort of collaboration and all of that, the week seems to be very positive, very much favorable for that. Now friends, when we talk about some big chunk of investment and all of that, over there try not to be very unrealistic, utopian or being impulsive. So that is the only one thing which I want to say, that if you are planning for some big investment and all of that, and you have to give your nod during this week as well, so try to look into the pros and cons of that. And I would also say that for the matters of the relationship, love, romance, and all those people who are eligible, single and bachelors, so even the matrimonial perspective or the relationship or the love romance perspective as well, the week's energy seems to be very much in favorable for all the Aquarius rising people. And last friends, for all the Pisces rising people, moon is going to be starting its journey from your 9th house and ending the week in your 12th house. So definitely friends, the week's energy seems to be very much favorable for all the Pisces rising people. The support of luck will definitely help you in all important areas of life. You will also get the good blessing from your father as well. People in authority will prove to be very much favorable, very much supporting towards you. Also friends, like during this week, there could be some sudden enhancement of your reputation, or because of the support of the luck, some lucrative opportunity might also fall to you. So for any important decision, this week's energy seems to be favorable. Whether you are single or qualified or eligible bachelor looking out for a matrimonial alliance, or you're looking out for collaboration or some work front related important presentation or important meetings, if you have to cover during this week, so the energy of this week seems to be very much favorable for all the Pisces rising people. During the end of the week, friends, just try to give a little bit of the attention towards your health, because like the energy is getting formed in a way that because of the conjunction of moon in your 12th house with the Saturn, the problem or concern might be in your mind only. So only if you can give attention to that, try not to get very anxious, very agitated on the account of something which you're not very sure of now. Regarding the health front I'm talking about. But friends, regarding the professional front, regarding the travels, regarding the support and collaboration front, this week's energy seems to be very much favorable. The support of luck will definitely help you, protect you in all areas of your life. So this is something, friends, which I wanted to say as a part of my inputs for this upcoming week's energies or transit results for all the rising signs. For further more updates and notifications on the divine science of Vedic astrology, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and like my Facebook page. Dhanyawad.